Well, just like our first D-main event, D-main event number 2 will feature 18 cars scheduled to go 12 laps, with the top 3 moving on to the second C-main event tonight. Starting on the pole out of Blue Springs, Missouri in the car 7M will be Tim McVeigh. In row number 2, one of 3 Chili Bowl Nationals rookies out of Santa Clara, California, the 25X Jim Christian. That's 3 in this event. Inside of row number 2, the 22P out of Pacific, Missouri, Jeff Palazzola. And to his outside of Afton, Oklahoma, the 51M of Jerry Marks.
Scheduled to start on the inside of the third row will be A.J. Felker. And on the outside, the 91D of Richie Duell. In the fourth row inside, another one of the rookies of the Chili Bowl this year, the 24K of Kevin Ames, and the 94 of David Camfield Sr.
Inside the fifth row, the 45 AZ out of Phoenix, Arizona, Belleville champion Mark Passarelli. To his outside out of St. Louis, Missouri, the 22A car of Steve Applin. Inside of the sixth row, the 1990 Chili Bowl Nationals winner from Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, in the 45H, Johnny Heidenreich. And to his outside, the number 35 machine, Scott Wyant, out of Springfield, Illinois.
Seventh row inside with the 8M of Gary McNabb of Edmond, Oklahoma. And another Oklahoman, Sandy Rushing, in the 22 car. In the eighth row, car number 7X, Jimmy McVeigh out of Missouri. And the 8F of Aaron Fike of Galesburg, Illinois, has come up from the E-main.
The final 2 cars making the start, the 39 machine, Nick Geronio, and to his outside will be the 33X of Greg Schaefer. The last 3 cars you heard, Fike, Geronio, and Schaefer, coming to us from our E-main racing event.
Christian will get the jump on the outside and will keep the lead as McVeigh gets sideways in turn number 2. He'll drop all the way back to 6th before he gets back on the racetrack.
Right now, battling for the number 2 spot is the 22 machine of Jeff Palazzola and the number 24 machine belonging to Kevin Ames. Kevin Ames now moving into the number 2 spot as the 45 AZ. Passarelli takes third.
That'll be the 45H car. Davis, it's Johnny Heidenreich, a former champion here at the Chili Bowl, who's moved all the way up to third spot from his inside 6th row original starting position.
Exactly. Didn't think he could move up that quickly, but indeed Heidenreich has, and now he's pressuring the 24 machine of Kevin Ames for the number 2 spot. Heidenreich on the bottom will have the advantage as they come off of turn 2.
So Ames now has the final transfer position, running in third. And a distant fourth is the 22A of Steve Applin. Heidenreich, who has moved up from the 6th row in the second, picked up his first USAC Silver Crown win last year at Pikes Peak.
Quite a battle going on behind for the 4th place, but that's not going to get you anywhere at tonight's Chili Bowl. The battle of the 22 machines, that's Steve Applin and Sandy Rushing.
Applin emerged up in the 4th spot as Passarelli moves into 5th. But they'll pull straight away behind that final transfer spot, the number 24K of Kevin Ames. Got a flip at turn number 2 is the 91D car. Richie Duell of Fowler, Kansas, hooked a cushion in turn number 1 and flipped over onto his top inside of turn number 3. He appears to be moving around inside the race car as track workers get to him immediately.
So the Rick Stewart chassis surrounding Richie Duell does its job. The car, unfortunately, is done for the night as Duell walks away after our first red flag incident. Why do I stress red? Well, that gives the crews an opportunity to work on these race cars. The top 3 right now, Jim Christian. Following him is Johnny Heidenreich, the former champion in the 24 car of Kevin Ames. Interesting to see if anybody can make a move.
This may be the opportunity that Heidenreich needed as he came from deep in the field to move up into second. As now we have a change in the final transfer spot as the 22A of Steve Applin has moved by Kevin Ames.
Applin with a nice job at the bottom as Ames spins directly into the path of the 33 machine. That will bring out a yellow as Greg Schaefer has nowhere to go. What a tough break for Kevin Ames, the rookie of the Chili Bowl here, running in the number 3 spot, spins out, loses his transfer spot to the C-main, and ends up with his 24 car on the hook.
A Colorado Tango will eliminate Greg Schaefer out of Fort Lupton and the 24K of Colorado Springs, Kevin Ames. They move to the infield. We return back to the green with Jim Christian leading Johnny Heidenreich and Steve Applin, the top 3 in the transfer spots. Here comes Mark Passarelli.
Passarelli starting all the way back in 9th, has bided his time and now is staring at a transfer spot, and it's the 22A car right ahead of him.
Passarelli, who had working the high side of the groove earlier in the show, has now moved down lower and starts to close in on Applin as now Heidenreich moves up on Christian.
Christian blocking the bottom of the racetrack as they come off of turn number 4. the 45 machine. Passarelli now to the inside of the 22A car, but it's not going to happen.
So Applin maintains the third spot. Passarelli in fourth. The top three to transfer, and 2 laps remain.
Christian doing a masterful job holding off the advances of the former champion, the 1990 machine. As the white flag comes out, Heidenreich will have one more chance to try to take the lead. And I guarantee he'll settle for second as he's going to move on to the C-Main.
Passarelli only has 2 more turns to try to advance. He needs close in on Applin, but he's not going to be able to catch him as Christian wins it over Heidenreich. Applin will also transfer. Passarelli will finish 4th, and Geronio will get 5th.
Geronio, a great drive from the rear of the field. He was one of our E-Main cars, but unfortunately, his night will end as the 25X machine of Jim Christian out of Santa Clara, California, will move on to C-Main number 2.